So I just wanted to talk about the truth about schizos again. So basically, I think we're like clowns, at least in reality sense, because we see the world for what it is. Yeah, we don't conform to their illusions of the world. We don't conform to the lies of the world. That's why they see us as imbeciles, really, like delusional, um, disorganized, negative traits. Hallucinating because we're like we're like non-conforming jesters. Like we gesture but we don't lie, and I don't think they don't like people in this world that are honest with people, and that's honest with God, and that's honest with reality, that's intimate with the world. I think they just see us as clowns. That's why they label us mentally ill, or label us psychotic, basically, because we're like performers that don't conform. I think that's what they're trying to hide. Because the more I learn about this and what they label me as, it's like, yeah, you can say what I do, but you don't know what I am. Just because I do these things that you think that are delusional, that are crazy, that are psychotic, and that's all these things, that's not what I am. Because I know who I am, and I know what I am. I know who I am. I know why. I know the why. I know the benefits of what I do. I know the truth of what I do. I know the reality of what I do. So the fact that you see what I do and you see it as a lie, that's a lie, that tells me that you're demonic almost, because you're like looking at an honest gesture, I guess, an honest performance, even though it's not a performance because it's honest, but it is a performance because this reality that we're not conforming to is the lie that they want us to believe. So our performance to them is a lie because we're not conforming. They're like, how are you going to perform and jest and tell jokes? You don't conform to our reality. You might as well be a joke yourself. You might as be labeled as weird. You might as be a threat. You might as well be the enemy almost. Because I heard these stories. I was watching this video. It's called Schizophrenia, Most Horrifying Mental Illness, and it talked about these people killing their kids and stuff like that from these illusions. Like, I don't think that's what God intended from the people that he built in this world to do. So I don't know why someone would go out and do something like that. I can't explain why. Most of the common thing I've seen is that they were sent to these fucking hospitals, bro. They were sent to these hospitals, labeled something else, or labeled schizo, put on these pills, went off the pills, got on the pills. It's like something with these pills, bro. That's the common thing I've seen. Like, it has something to do with these hospitals. They always went to some hospital. They always had some type of depression. They always had some type of other mental illness. But I can't say why these people will harm other people over delusions, because that doesn't sound like schizo, from what I've seen. Because that's what I've been labeling. I'm telling y'all, like, I see the world for what it is, and it's like, so when I hear these other people with the same label allegedly as me doing these horrible things, I think that just tells you more about them as a person, what they chose to do with seeing reality rather than them being delusional and demonic. That's what they chose to do. That was their choice in life. But I don't choose that. I choose real. I choose to be real. I choose to be honest. And maybe they were, I don't know. It's like someone said the devil told them to do it. Some people thought they was in danger. It's like, I'm listening to this stuff, but I'm like, yeah, I have the sense of that. But when I go at it with honesty. I go at it with truth. I don't fight it with demonic demons. I think these niggas tried to go the demonic route. And I think that's where you should keep people that are labeled schizo from doing. You should keep them away from demons, because they see the real world, so they can see demons for what they are. and they know how to imitate demons. You know, they know how to get down to the roots because they can see the reality, because this world is very spiritual. Basically what we see is the spiritual made physical by God. So it's like this whole foundation is spiritual. It's just made physical by God. So I think we're tapped into the under the science of the material, you know, the DNA of the material, the reality of the material, which is just God. So we're tapped in with God. But in the end of the day, we're kind of like clowns, basically. Even though I don't like to be a clown, I don't want to be a clown, but to this reality, we might as well, at least to God's perspective, we might as well be jokers, because we see the truth, yet we don't conform to the lie, you know. I know that's because jesters, they get to tell the truth as a joke, and they get away with it basically by the king. And I guess the king in a sense is God, and we're like the jester to God. We get to tell the truth without getting punished, you know, tell us the reality without getting punished, because God is an honest God. God is a just God. But it's like when people see this jester next to the Almighty, to God the Creator, they're like, who is this imposter? Who is this person with all these delusions? Who is him to treat God like his ally, like his friend, when he's just nothing but a joke, you know? And they label us as demonic and all this stuff. But in the truth in God I think schizos are just clowns. We're just gestures to him. Like he give us the glimpse into reality, for we could perform truth and perform justice without being taken taken serious, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word. I guess without being taken serious. Like we perform truth and justice without being taken serious. Hold on. Let me see if there's a better way. Like we're seen as serious. Like we don't get to be seen as serious because the liars, not because of the king, because of the liars. You know, we don't get to see seen as a threat or anything, because we get labeled mentally ill. We get made demonic. We get labeled delusion. We get labeled demonic. You know, we get labeled sickening. You know. But and the truth is, like, we're the serious threat, but we get to hide it behind a lie that we didn't create. We didn't create this lie. We just put on the suit and move forward, because this is the role God wants us in. He wants us to see us as the clown, but in the truth, we're not joking. We're telling the truth to y'all. So sadly, I guess the people that have this gift of reality, I guess some of them chose the demonic route, chose to become a murderous clown. But I don't want to be a murderous clown. Not in the sense without God's order. Like if murder happens, it's because of God. Like that's the only just murder you can have, because it wouldn't be murder, it would be justice, it would be judgment. But it's like to take it in your own regards. That's like denying the king. That's like killing yourself. You know. If you're gonna be a jester, you gotta obey the king, even if you can tell facts without punishment. You know. So I talk to God. I have fun with God. We talk all the time. But the fact he lifts me so high that he treats me like sometimes greater than him is very humbling, because I shouldn't be up there, and I know I shouldn't be up there. That's the humbling part about being next to the king and being like a friend to him. It's like this nigga will love you very, very hard. Like he will love you very hard to the point you don't know why you deserve it. You don't even know why you deserve it, because you know who he is. You know he's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and he would treat you like royalty to him. I'm like, wow, Lord, you're just something, bro. And then when you tell the world like this, they look at you like a clown. Like, because they're like, how would God uplift someone other than God, you know? Because that's what the whole Bible is about. And this goes back to my first video talking about that's something I did. That's the idea I came up with God. That was, as a gesture perspective, that was one of my jokes to God, and he made it reality. That's the privilege of being a labeled schizo. I'm not saying schizo is real. It's like you get to gesture with God. You get to come up with ideas with God. You get to be honest with God. So you shouldn't run towards demons if you're labeled schizo, because that would take you away from reality, which is our gift, to see reality for what it is. So that's basically why we're seen as the clown, because we're talking directly to the king as if we're casuals to him, like that he's not royalty, and the king's treating us like royalty even though we're just casuals. And it's so beautiful, really, but it's also beautiful. It's really beautiful. I guess I would just leave it there. But thank you, Lord. And that's the truth about, that's why we're, yeah, that's the truth about schizo. That's the truth about God, I guess. Amen.